All right, we want to go to a story that is trending today on clickondetroit.com, the battle over roundabouts. They are supposed to be a safer way for traffic flow, but they appear on the list of some of the most dangerous intersections in our area. So love them or hate them, a lot of debate online. The report that came out of this was from SEMCOG, actually, which is the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments. The top 5 intersections for crashes, 4 of them are roundabouts. I'm going to bring in Ken Haddad right now. He's our digital content and audience manager. All things clickondetroit.com. Ken, how are you on a Tuesday? And the inventor of the internet. That's right. I mean, that's just a sidebar that you've done. Exactly. But you have done articles on this, and the amount of conversation about we hate roundabouts, but they're supposed to be safer.
They are really like always a hot topic, right?
Yeah.
It's like every time a new roundabout goes in, it's like people are either like super mad about it or they're excited about it. But yeah, this data is really interesting because roundabouts are statistically proven. I mean, there's so many studies that back this. They are safer than our traffic light intersections. But for some reason in Metro Detroit, we're seeing the most crashes at roundabouts, 4 out of the top 5, like you said. And so, it's weird.
Why do you think that is? Are people still trying to get, acclimated as to how they work, or they're trying to move too quickly? What's the theory?
I think it's a lack of experience. Mm-hmm. It's going from traffic lights because they're not consistent, right? You're not hitting a bunch of roundabouts at the same time. You're just kind of hitting them sporadically. So you're going from traffic lights to roundabouts. What you're paying attention to is different because you have to look for different signage. You got to look for different markings on the ground, and then you have to behave completely differently than you do at a traffic light. So you just have a lot of people who maybe aren't paying as much attention, going through intersections throughout their day, that sort of thing. I talked to Michigan State Police about it, and they basically said people need to follow the signs, which is not a shocking piece of advice. You think about that. We do have the maps of the intersections where there have been the most crashes, and just a little bit of factoids. We have 180 roundabouts in Michigan. Yeah, I know. That's more than you'd think, right? Yeah, they're around, and MDOT is fully backs this as a safer idea for an intersection over traffic lights, and so we're probably going to see more and more of this.
Yeah.
Europe has completely taken over roundabouts. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find a traffic light in Europe.
It keeps things really moving. Now we're taking a look at the intersection for the crashes there at Orchard Lake and 14 Mile Road in Farmington Hills. This is a big and busy roundabout.
Yeah. It's interesting because a couple weeks ago when we were talking about this data, Jacqueline Francis, one of our reporters, was live on the scene at a roundabout and witnessed a crash herself, like a fender bender. So the thing, though, about the roundabouts that is really worth noting, these crashes are minor most of the time because you're traveling you're traveling at a much slower speed. The roundabout forces you to slow down just inherently. So a lot of the crashes are sideswipe, they're fender bender stuff. They're not serious crashes most of the time. When you get a crash at an intersection, like a traffic light intersection,
someone who is going full speed through green or something,
those crashes are much more serious than they are at roundabouts.
All right, we're taking another look. It's Van Dyke and 18.5 Mile in Sterling Heights. The average crash is there 112. Let's go ahead and take a look at another intersection for the roundabouts, and this one is in Ann Arbor at South State Street and West Ellsworth Road. Average crash is 99 there as well. And we have one more in Commerce, so Martin Parkway and North Pontiac Trail. That is a big one there. I've been through that area as well. Average crash is 97. I think what's really interesting is you get people talking about this and saying this is going to change, but this is really what we're seeing. It's the slowing down and understanding that you still flow. You don't come to a dead stop. I think that's what I've seen a lot of times. It's a bit of more of a yield than a dead stop.
Yeah, and it's interesting the way they design roundabouts. They put greenery in the middle of the roundabout, and that's intentional. You're supposed to. It's a visual cue. You're supposed to. Your body is supposed to notice that you're not seeing headlights coming at you. It's a reason it tells you to slow down. Everything about a roundabout is all visual cues. It's all telling you to slow down because there's a roundabout coming up. But when you're dealing with a mix of traffic lights and roundabouts, that sort of behavior that you're not used to it because you're jumping from different scenarios, and it's confusing for people.
What have people been saying on Click On?
I've gotten a lot of emails that are saying I don't think the signage is clear at this roundabout, or I think our roundabouts are badly designed compared to Europe, or things like that. So people have very passionate thoughts about roundabouts, but I don't think they're going away anytime soon. And so I think the best thing to do is to just pay a little bit more attention when you're coming up to one, and just make sure you're being safe.
Yeah. Okay. And so you can see this article at clickondetroit.com, and again, we'll have all of those intersections for the the roundabouts where they have the most crashes, and then also more information from SEMCOG as well.
Yes.
Good stuff. So I'm going to add now inventor of the internet and roundabout expert now to the job
It depends
title.
on the
Do you
day,
think that's going to
Christy.
fit on the lower third?
I hope so. Aaron, can you please get this up? Right, Aaron? Right there?
Exactly.
Thank you.
I'm going to make sure put that on there. All right. Thanks so much, Ken. I appreciate it. And you can walk off stage left. And we did match our clothes today.